Out on the road, but we've been talking a lot of hockey, and that continues now. Very pleased to be joined by Regina Pats forward, Captain Logan Nijhoff, and actually very, what should I say, humbled to have you with me, Logan, because I know it was a late night for you guys, a 5-2 loss in Winnipeg. First of all, thanks for joining us, and talk to me about last night's game, man. What happened there in Winnipeg?
No worries. Thanks a lot for having me on, Rod. Last night we just didn't really stick to our game plan. We knew they were going to capitalize on odd man attacks and try to break us down in the neutral zone, and they did exactly that. And we just kind of struggled to get our game going. But I think in the third, we definitely took a step there and kind of held most of possession in the third there and kept the puck down low. So I think it's a great learning curve early on in the season. We got a lot of young players here who haven't really played on the road, so we just got to kind of let it go and build on it.
You know, we're going to look fully forward here in a second, but I do have a couple questions looking back, and we'll try and go in chronological order. I had the distinct honor of calling all the Pats games in the bubble last year in the Brand Center, and it was a pretty good season for you guys. Too bad there wasn't playoffs. Who knew what you would have been capable of? But what was it like as a player to live in the U of R dorm in the bubble? I'm sure it's not something you ever want to go back and do again, or maybe even think about.
Yeah, it's definitely unique. I've never really stayed in a dorm type facility like that, and especially for 2 months. But I thought it was good. I actually quite enjoyed it. It was almost like a never-ending road trip with your team, right? And living next to each other, we were fortunate enough to have our own rooms, so we did get a little downtime on our own. But I thought it was definitely really good for our team, and we got to know each other very well.
Well, you know, it's funny you say that, because your head coach, Dave Struch, you two are obviously very close, and he told me about you that you just love hockey. There's a reason you wear the C, so it doesn't surprise me that this was right down your alley, just to be hockey, and be around your teammates all the time, right? And I guess, obviously, you played well enough to earn yourself a tryout with the Anaheim Ducks. Talk about how that went.
Yeah, it went good. It was a little bit late notice, but obviously it was a tremendous honor to go down there and wear an NHL uniform. It was good. I mean, I thought I played pretty well, and it was just incredible to go to the rink in flip-flops and have palm trees and just be able to be in the locker room with some of those guys like Ryan Getzlaf. I got to catch up with Pats alumni Sam Steele and Josh Mahura. But just to see how the professionals act and how they treat their bodies and how they go about themselves was definitely something special. I'll never forget it.
Good for you, Logan. And I know that you'll be playing pro if you want to after that, so you're going to be able to do whatever you want to do when your major junior season's done. But I remember driving down Catella Avenue the last time I was in Anaheim, looking around at those palm trees, like you said, and thinking, Sammy has got the world by the tail. Good for him. How did you feel you did with the Ducks, by the way?
Good. I thought, it was definitely a big jump. You know, you don't have a lot of time or space, but I thought I played my game pretty well and got some good feedback. So, I was able to learn a lot down there. So it was definitely a really incredible experience.
You know, well, by the way, Bruce Franklin, the scout for the Ducks that lives in the Queen City, is a very close friend of mine. So obviously he'd have his fingerprints all over getting you into Ducks camp. But I got to ask you, that last game, the Pats and the Wheat Kings against each other, was it Ridley, Gregg, or who was it that you two were just having a slobber knocker of a 60-minute, 12-round fight all game long? And I'm like, I don't think this would be fun for Logan to play this style of game, but that's what you do. Who is it on the Wheat Kings that you've taken a personal responsibility to drive crazy?
Yeah, that was Gregg. Ever since we both kind of came into the league at the same time. He was a year after me, but I didn't play a ton my first year, so right away we kind of learned to hate each other, and it's been a fun rivalry ever since. But, we kind of laugh about it after. I got a really good buddy on Brandon, and we kind of know each other through that. But then once we get on the ice, it just seems like we always go at it, and it's really fun to go at it with a player of that caliber.
Now, obviously, it's a mutual respect. I could tell that, but I also know that Those are the friendships that you'll have for the rest of your life, but at the time, it doesn't really feel like it. So Friday night, you go into Moose Jaw. What's it like to be able to play some road games, Logan? It has literally been a couple of years. How much are you looking forward to that next game for the Pats?
Yeah, really looking forward to it. You know, not being able to play on the road last year, it definitely felt like it's been almost 3-4 years since we've been able to play on the road. It's been a crazy couple of years, but it's exciting to get fans back in the stands and have that hockey atmosphere again. And, you know, our rivalry going into Moose Jaw, it's going to be exciting and it's going to be fun.
Well, you know, just before we do look ahead a little bit, you swept PA in the season opening home and home. That didn't surprise me. You went into Winnipeg, played a good team, lost 5-2. I wasn't necessarily expecting you to win that one. But what is your expectation for this hockey team this year for the Regina Pats in your last year? How do you see this playing out? How would you like to see it play out?
Yeah, you know, definitely we took a lot of big jumps last year. As all Pats fans know, it's been a bit of a tough couple of years here rebuilding, but now we got the most competitive team that we've seen since that 2017-18 year. We got good D-man, got a good goalie, stood on his head last night, and we got some deep forward lines. So I think we're going to come out and surprise a lot of teams here. Obviously, we got to learn how to win games and what our structure is and what our true identity is. You know, we can't give up opportunities like we did last night. We got to be a bit of a harder working team and be harder to play against. But no, we also got some skill this year. So, you know, we're definitely gunning for the playoffs. I think anything short of that would be a huge disappointment considering the lineup we got. So, yeah, just early in the year, just kind of find what works for us, what doesn't work for us, come out and compete every night and battle to be in the top of our division.
I think there's a chance that you could, although Winnipeg might have something to say about that. But that game last night, I'm glad to hear what you said. That's a measuring stick game. It's the first week of the regular season, and if you can play with those guys as well as you did, yeah, I agree with you. And that Matthew Keeper, I love him as a goaltender. There's no doubt that kid's got a lot of talent. I just got to ask you this. How often, Logan, do you get asked by your friends and family about Connor Bedard, or are they kind of over it by now?
Yeah, definitely a lot. You know, every time anyone sees a Pats logo now, it's almost like, oh, do you play with Connor Bedard? But now that he's settling in, I think it's becoming more of a standard question type thing. But no, it's definitely bringing a lot of attention to our team, which everyone's super excited about.
How do you like playing with him, and what is it like playing with him?
Yeah, I love it. I've played a ton with him. You know, we're normally both centers, but being able to watch a guy with that caliber in practice and stuff, you know, it's like playing with Sam Steele. It's like Mahura. It's like being able to watch these top guys and just how they go about themselves and how he shoots the puck. I've never seen anyone shoot the puck like him. So it's definitely very exciting to be on the ice with him every day.
Well, you guys are all a tremendous amount of fun to watch, and I can't wait to get back home because I'll be broadcasting Sunday's game with you guys. And Logan, I just want to say, I don't know when I'll have a chance to talk to you again, so you are a tremendous captain for the Regina Pats. Very proud of how you represent the hockey club. And I'll see you on the weekend. Thanks for the time today.
No worries. Thanks a lot, Rod.
Logan Nijhoff of the Regina Pats joining us from the Sweatpants capital. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching the RP Show on YouTube. And don't forget, we're live daily on YouTube from noon to 2 Eastern. If you like what you see, hit subscribe. And if you like the program, check around for other segments of the Rod Pedersen Show here on YouTube.